Now, what in the carnival is going on here? So it appears it's time for our monthly reminder that there are some very irresponsible humans out there that can't tell time. So much so that they end up either getting left by a cruise ship or getting there at the last possible second, almost missing the thing. Now, I know maybe some of you out there, a few of you out there might get tired of these videos. I post them, like I said, probably like once, maybe twice a month if we got some really good ones. However, I think it's important because for me, I believe that if there's at least one person out there, and I know there are many, that think that the cruise ship won't leave them because of some odd reason, like they think that they're special or the king and queen of the cruise ship, well, they are going to be proven wrong. Check out this video.
Come on! Come on!
You would think with all of the valuable and useful information that is available about cruising, as well as all of the viral content that has been posted up throughout all of the interwebs and via social media sites like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you name it, that everyone that goes on a cruise ship would just get the message. Don't be late for the cruise ship, otherwise it will leave you. It's not that they don't care about you. Well, let's be honest here. This is business. They don't care about you. They want your money and of course your loyalty. They don't want you to go to other lines. Loyal to Royal wants you to be loyal to Royal, and Carnival wants you to be a carny for life. I know a lot of people don't like that word. A very important fun person. They don't want you to go anywhere. They want your service. They want your business, and they want your money. Nevertheless, they have to leave not because they don't care, it's because they are on a very strict schedule, an expensive schedule at that. It costs a lot of money for these ships to just dock and park and bounce around back and forth, to the point to where if they are late, or let's say they go over that time, you're talking about in the range ballpark figure around $1,000 a minute to continue docking just for one person, when potentially thousands of others were able to make it back on board on time. By the way, before we continue, nobody get their anchor caught in a bunch when I said the cruise lines just want your money. It's business. It's not a bad thing. They provide you a good service, and in exchange, you give them some moolah. There's nothing wrong with it. Now, looking at this scenario as a whole, there's not a lot of context to it. As you can see, I got this from TikTok in the original poster. While I can't confirm if they are the creator of this video, like by that I mean they are the ones that recorded this situation, but it cuts off at the worst time. Well, it does come out in their benefit. They did so because it creates a dramatic effect. It looks like the woman missed the ship, but I'm going to assume, even though they were putting the staircase of the bridge in, they were able to pull it back out for that woman, even though, well, they shouldn't have. You see this woman walking at the very beginning, and then all of a sudden when she sees everything starting to get back into the ship, she just starts to put a little pep in her step, and I believe there's somebody else is being carried over as well right behind her, and somebody else there. It's a whole squadron of people that decided to be irresponsible, and honestly, I don't get it. I just realized I made a boo-boo. I used the wrong terminology. That staircase bridge thing is called a gangway. I don't know what's wrong with me. I was flowing through the words and I kind of misplaced them, so I just made something up. Now, the vessel this conundrum took place on is the Carnival Paradise. Launched in the year 1998, cost $300 million to build, holds 2,000 passengers, and little fun fact, little nugget of information. This ship at one point in time was considered the largest cruise ship in the entire world. Currently sailing out of my city, just down the street, Tampa, Florida. I was on it last year. Good time for a nice getaway. Because of the angle of the video, I can't really pinpoint exactly what port of call that is. I don't think it's Cozumel, but I could be wrong. It's definitely not Nassau, Bahamas. However, I will say between those two places, Cozumel and Nassau, that is typically where you'll see the pier runners and people getting left for cruise ships. Because let's say over in Cozumel, the drinks are extremely cheap. A lot of people out there, I know a lot of you know what I'm talking about. You go over to Mesa Sancho's, and just like that, you have lost your mind. You've lost track of time, and boom, you're running for dear life trying to catch the ship on time, and sometimes some people don't make it. Nevertheless, there is of course a lesson to be learned here. Like I said, the cruise ship will not wait for you. If you guys are going to a port of call, you have to understand there is something called ship time and land time. If you're going to a place where potentially the time zone has changed, even if it's just by 1 hour, the cruise line will announce it, but you should always physically check the time you have to be back on board. It literally says all aboard time. Sometimes there's one for crew and sometimes there's one for guests. You want to look at the ones for guests, but I would just say a rule of thumb for me, whenever I am out in a port of call, especially if I know I'm going to be doing some drinking and whatnot and having some fun and hooting and hollering and dancing and shaking a tail feather, I try to be back at minimum 45 minutes to an hour prior to the all aboard time. That way you get a little headway in the event that something should go wrong or what have you. Also, I can't stress this enough. take two things with you. That, of course, is your passport as well as some money in the event that there's an emergency that happens, because this recently did happen with two girls. I talked about it, that was involved in a hit and run crash, had to go to the hospital, and they didn't have their passports. They didn't have it at all, actually. But I'm just saying, there are a lot of people that, for whatever reason, they say they're going to leave their passport on the ship. That way they don't lose it. If you're going to an excursion, you're going to an all-inclusive, there are plenty of places like lockers for you to put them away. But just also keep in mind, you guys are all adults. I'm sure you can bring a satchel or some kind of bag with you. That way you can keep it right there on your person at all times. That way you don't have to worry about losing your passport. But you rather have it than to not have it. Anyway, this is a short little video. I just wanted to put this out there. You guys noticed, by the way, I'm not sweating anymore. I got my AC fixed and I'm excited. I'm so happy. I can sleep comfortably now and make more videos. But of course, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as usual, I love and appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you later. Take it easy.